Have you ever desired something so deeply that you waited months or even years to get it? And then, when you finally got it, the happiness faded away within just a few days? It's a strange reality. We spend our entire lives chasing success, wealth, and possessions. Yet, even after reaching our goals, we often feel an emptiness inside. Today's story is about a man just like that. In a distant land, there lived a merchant named Marcus. He was incredibly wealthy. He possessed gold, precious jewels, vast lands, and every luxury most people could only dream of. People admired his success, they respected him, they envied him. But there was one truth the world did not know. Marcus was not happy. Every morning, he counted his treasures. Every night, he locked his doors. He constantly feared losing his wealth. He had everything in life except peace of mind. As time passed, his fortune continued to grow, but so did the restlessness in his heart. One day, an old traveler arrived at his doorstep. His clothes were simple, but there was a remarkable light in his eyes. He said to Marcus, "I have heard that you are the richest man in this region." Marcus proudly replied, "Yes, I have everything a person could ever want." The old man smiled. Then he asked, "If you are truly rich, tell me this. When was the last time you laughed from the bottom of your heart?" Marcus fell silent. He had no answer. The old traveler invited him on a journey that could change his life forever. At first, Marcus refused, but eventually, his curiosity took over. The next morning, they set out together. The road was not easy. Dusty paths, long distances, towering mountains, and endless exhaustion. Marcus, who was used to a life of comfort, complained at every step. But the old traveler quietly continued forward. A few days later, they arrived at the bank of a river. The current was strong. Crossing it would not be easy. Marcus tightly held onto his bag filled with wealth. But halfway across, he lost his balance. Several coins slipped from his bag and disappeared into the rushing water. He panicked. It felt as though his world was falling apart. But the old man simply said, "Sometimes, to move forward, you must let go of certain burdens." Those words echoed in Marcus's mind. The journey continued. Along the way, they arrived at a small village. There, a poor family invited them to share a meal. The house was modest, resources were limited, yet smiles filled every face. They laughed together, they shared stories, they happily shared their simple meal. Marcus was amazed. He asked, "You have so little. How can you be so happy?" The elder of the family replied, "Because we appreciate what we have instead of grieving over what we don't." The answer touched Marcus deeply. For the first time, he realized that happiness is not determined by wealth alone. Weeks passed. Marcus watched the sunrise and sunset with new eyes. He listened to the silence of the mountains. He enjoyed the scent of rain. He witnessed the kindness of strangers. Slowly, something inside him began to change. The things he once considered ordinary now seemed precious. Eventually, they reached a remote destination. Marcus was certain that a great treasure awaited him. But there were no piles of gold, no diamonds, no jewels. There was only an old mirror. The old traveler said, "Look into it." Marcus gazed into the mirror. He saw his own face, but for the first time in his life, he truly saw himself. He saw a man who was wealthy on the outside, but empty on the inside. A man who spent his life collecting possessions while forgetting to truly live. Tears filled his eyes. Then the old man said, "True wealth is not what is stored in your treasure chest. True wealth is what is stored in your heart and memories. Gold can be lost. Palaces can crumble. Property can disappear. But experiences, lessons learned, and beautiful memories remain with you forever." Those words changed the course of Marcus's life. When he returned home, he was no longer the same person. He began living differently. He spent time with people. He explored new places. He embraced new experiences. And for the first time, he found genuine happiness. Years later, someone asked him, "Do you still consider yourself rich?" Marcus smiled and replied, "Once I had everything, yet I felt empty. Today, I may own less, but my life is filled with stories, memories, and experiences, and that is true wealth." My friends, many of us spend most of our lives chasing possessions. We believe that the next success, the next car, or the next big opportunity will finally make us happy. But happiness is rarely found in the things we buy. It is found in the moments we live, in the people we spend time with, in the experiences that shape us into better human beings. So do not spend your life merely collecting things. Spend it truly living. Because in the end, people do not remember your wealth. They remember your story. And your greatest treasure is the life you genuinely lived.